Good afternoon, everybody. Just doing a little quick New Year's Eve permaculture food forest video. So we've had a couple of new updates around here since the last time I was on. Except for the dog digging, that's always going to be the same. The sour grass is blooming and it's attracting in the bees. So it's getting lots of honeybees used to coming around here. With the lavender and all the flowers. We got sunflowers blooming. December 31st. So, loving this good weather. I've been pruning these trees, collecting the sticks, cutting them into scions, and putting them in the fridge. I have a little small fridge, so I've been kind of opening up these trees. What I'm trying to do is minimize the amount of these first year sticks so that there's less fruit weight bearing down on the branches, because I was having trouble with keeping the actual fruit on the branches. It was producing the fruit to a certain point and then just dropping it anyway. I want all the energy of that tree to go towards building up the stalk, building up the branches, and then putting out choice fruit. I'd rather have good peaches, in this case, than a whole bunch of not so good peaches that are all over the ground because they're green and the tree dropped them. And then I'm taking these little sticks right here, about a foot long, cutting them a foot long, and just freezing them, or not freezing them, but refrigerating them. So that's pretty cool. And pretty much anywhere where I dump goat manure, they're real sloppy, they miss a lot of seeds, and then they start growing. I'm going to utilize these suckers because you see how much energy a sucker puts out. The rest of the tree is dormant, but these suckers are kicking off. So what I'm going to do is just graft some kind of nice fruit to it. Maybe even an almond or something, because almond and cherry and peach and plum, they're all kind of a stone fruit in the same family. So yeah, you can see I cut this back quite a bit. It was starting to get curly leaf and some bugs are munching on it, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. See, there's a little bit of curly leaf. But what I want is more sunshine and airflow moving through. So I wanted to accomplish that without taking down too many of the branches. See, some of these grafts, like this one here, are different varieties, but they're just not doing so well. So yeah, just opening up this lemon tree here, and then I took the shoots from this lemon tree and all the way up the yard. Started sticking them, dipping them in root hormone, puncturing a hole in the ground with a nail, and then planting these lemon shoots. So I defoliate the lemon shoot, fresh lemon shoot, all the way almost to the top. That way we're reducing the amount of leaves. And so in between each pomegranate is a lemon tree. And then I put a couple of them next to the house and here and there, everywhere. The dog jumped into the rainbow chard and dug a big hole. Didn't kill any of the plants really. She just kind of dug around and made a mess because we left her home alone. So I took some really good mustard greens, microgreens pretty much. Planted those seeds in here. Friend Mark gave me some of these flower pot holders, and I just use them to keep the birds out now. So the damage she done is right there. So that's all the rainbow chard. It would have been good food probably to eat, but it's all tore up. Like I said in the previous video, I'm pretty sure we use those like celery, the stems. So you got multicolored celery. It goes in soups and stews and stuff like that. And potato patch is doing great. Filling in this little bed. I'm not gonna make the same mistake I made last year. We have a multitude of different types of potatoes. Last year's potatoes that I harvested, the ones we didn't eat, went back in the ground, and now they're starting to sprout over here on the end. Just always pulling this crabgrass out of here. It gets these long leaders and runs through. Getting time to propagate a little bit more rosemary. So, still harvesting peppers. So we got habaneros and bell peppers and jalapenos mixed in here. The onions I've pretty much all harvested out. When I harvested the onions, I yanked them out and threw them over here, and they begun growing. So we're getting leeks and onions growing off to the sides. Everything here except for the grass is edible. So all this is fillery. It's going to have these little purplish blue flowers. Keep everybody, all the bees happy anyway. So yeah, just a quick update. Wandering through, kind of looking for mushrooms. Had some pretty nice morels popping through here. Littered pomegranates all over the ground, so maybe they'll seed. Elderberries and pomegranates are still growing. Some of them went dormant and some of them are still growing. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is behind that, but it's just kind of what we're dealing with. Some of them are going to grow quite a bit more just because they're growing all the way through the winter. Could have been the amount of fertilizer I put in the soil. This wild currant is growing gooseberries. Thorny little bush, but I'll probably propagate this one quite a bit and get this one growing all over the place. I really like it. It's good for attracting songbirds and stuff. So it's sort of a triangular patch at this point. Once this really gets established and anchored in, it'll start creating its own forest. It'll begin gathering momentum, and then I'll spread down a little bit farther towards the great big willow tree, the weeping willow. I'm going to prune that up. It has never been pruned. Oh yeah, and then this way. It's constant battle keeping ice plant. It grows through the fence and over. So what I do is I just chop it out and pull it and throw it in the green waste bin. And all along here on the fence line we have more aloe vera. Same kind of pattern as before. Elderberry, aloe vera, elderberry. This one's taken off pretty good. Lots of aloe vera. Wild blackberries. Here's some of those peach cuttings. Even if one takes, it'll be worth it, right? Here's some more peach cuttings I put in the ground. This one with root hormones, so hopefully those take. A little camp circle. Log chairs. I've been hollowing out these logs. Making beehives. I'm gonna probably take a few of them to work and make a little beehive village out in the hills for hikers to see. So that's pretty cool. My wife redid the chicken run here. We had animals digging up underneath the ground and coming in, killing the chickens. So she redid the trap door. So made it more secure. Looks really nice. At least compared to the one that was there before. As you can see, they just totally uprooted everything. This nice break in the weather is just making it easy for us to come over here and catch up on some of the stuff. Like, this is all supposed to be trenched out, but what was happening is water was running down this slope, and it's supposed to run out to this way, to the left. But what it's doing is now it's running here, flooding into the horse stall, and then flooding the inside of the stall. So there's a big giant goat, half as big as the horse over there. So we're capturing rainwater from the gutter, dropping it in so that we don't have to feed the horse tap water and the goat, so that's nice. But yeah, we got to retrench this in. I'll probably put a couple of caber logs, like even some of that debris might go over here to make it more of a barrier, so that the animals have to step up and over it, and when they do, they'll maintain the trench based off of their own body weight. Way over here on the back side of the property, I planted a eucalyptus tree. Just yanked it out of the ground in a wood chip pile. It went into shock, so I cut it and just left one little sprig growing. So this one's less than a year old, and it's growing. It's going to grow big. Eucalyptus really love it here. You can see out on the horizon, that's all eucalyptus over there. But honeybees like it because it gives them something to collect nectar from in the middle of the year. Actually, it's at the end of the year, in December. Got some cool mushrooms growing over here. And then finally the rain catchment. So this is where I'm at. It needs some development, but I put hoses connecting each one so that when you drain one, it creates a siphon on the other ones and they kind of self-manage each other. So in this last rainstorm, we got a little over an inch of water, something like that. It almost topped off that one in the corner. So what I did was, these were all full from just this fall batch of rainstorms, so I topped everything off. And then I drained it all just to kind of flush out any mosquito larvae, any algae, or oak litter from these oaks up here. I just kind of gave it a quick flush. I'm confident that we're going to get more rain. Pretty confident that we're going to get more rain the rest of the year, or beginning of 2020. So I don't see a problem filling these back up. Worst comes to worst, if it's a dry spell, I'll use the tap water. Just fill it up with tap water. It's only 2,000 gallons. Trying to get some black walnut. There's another stick over there, black walnut. Trying to keep these starts going. Lemon, avocado, a mix of everything pretty much. Razor wire blackberry. More avocado. Just that was a avocado pit that fell out of a flower pot that got tipped over, rolled off the planter table, landed in the sand, and this has just been growing. It's got 1, 2, 3 main branches in the main stalk. So I'm going to replace this little greenhouse because it's pretty rough. We've gotten our use out of it. I'm going to do a 10 by 20, so it's going to pretty much cover this whole dugout area next to the house. Working on getting some of these lemons and oranges growing. Have to make a few decisions on some of them. Some of them just aren't going to take, I don't think. So, some of these won't. But it's real quick just to swap it out with another one. This little tree frog reserve. Here's the table where I deal with my cuttings. Not much, but it works. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I hope all you guys are doing great and have a wonderful time with life. Bye.